going back to the Air Force Series, the seniors had a total of 13 points. How did that group grade out?
Well, I mean, I mean, just like every other year, I mean, you have to rely on your guys that have been through it, and I'm really pleased with the way they're playing right now. All of them. So, I think that Michael O'Leary's coming into his own. He started to in the tail end of last year, second half of last year, but he's playing with a lot more intensity, a lot more consistent, and Cal Burke's keeping the game simple and using his speed and playing effectively for us as well. And Cam Morrison does what he does. He's got a goal, I think, each game we've played so far, and playing with Michael Graham, he might get the puck more often, kind of like he did with a right-handed center, Jake Evans. So, and of course, Torrey Dello, he's got to be the leader on the back end. He's the only senior back there, and we need to have him to have a great year.
Did you do any tweaking of your lines?
We haven't changed them yet.
What do you like about what you have with you?
Well, I think we're going to go through the next few, probably the next month here to find out what we've got. I mean, I think the lines are tentative right now. I think that we can't break them up after the Air Force, because I thought, for the most part, that, two of the lines played well Friday night, and I thought Saturday or Sunday we played, four lines all played fairly well.
How about defensively, you like what you got there?
Yeah, I think we're probably set with our top four. I think Nicky Lieberman is coming around. I thought Charlie Wraith played pretty well on Sunday. So, we still got Ryan Carmichael and Christian DeCesar back there as freshmen that, hopefully, Christian, I think that Carmichael's got, a fairly bright future, but right now it's all about him confidence-wise. He's got to gain confidence and understand that he has the ability. He just has to have a little bit more confidence in who he is as a player.
Coach, you'd mentioned that you wanted to get that puck out of the defensive zone quickly and start transition. Your thoughts after the first couple of games? And I know there were a couple of icings, but it looked like they were trying to get that stretch pass game going.
Yeah, too many icings, because you don't want to have face-offs in your own end all the time. But you're right. We're looking for stretch passes. We just have to do a better job of being in a good position to receive a stretch pass, and also for our defensemen to make a tape-to-tape pass. And every once in a while, it's not a bad thing to use the boards to make an indirect pass, even if it's a stretch pass. So I think we just have to be more consistent with our forwards, getting into good passing lanes to receive a long pass. We don't want to be up the ice all the time. I mean, it's just certain situations where we're going to stretch the ice out. But, when we are out like that, I mean, our defensemen have to make sure that they make a good tape-to-tape pass.
In terms of the freshmen in the lineup from a forward perspective, there was a little buzz about Janicki coming in, but Lanzell maybe a little under the radar. What could he possibly become for this team?
Well, first of all, he's gritty. He's a tough kid. He plays the game physically. And the nice thing about him is that I think he's got some good understanding of the game too. He's got good hockey sense. His skating is not where it needs to be yet, but I think that his effort level and his compete level, could make him a valuable asset. Having another guy that plays a little bit more of a physical game certainly won't hurt us.
And finally, just scheduling Lake Superior State, I know you have a great history of being there. Did you want to start a series with them once again? The importance of this series as well? Well,
we try to bounce around. We try to play different conferences every year. We have not played a lot of WCHA teams, and frankly, I look at it more as old CCHA rivals. So playing Lake State, playing Bowling Green, and playing Western Michigan, they're all CCHA rivals, and it's probably good geographically. It's helps us, and also just making sure that we keep tabs with our history a little bit, I think is important. Playing Lake State is always has a little bit of sentiment to me, even though it's been a long time since I've been there. I've been getting emails and text messages all week from former players, and as I responded to them, for me it was more about the players that played for me there than it was more than the program as far as where it's at today. Maybe the program back when I was there, but to me it's more about the guys that played for me, that I still communicate with quite regularly, and but I mean I still have good friends up there, and and relationships up there. So you always look back to where you got your start, where your first opportunity to get in the business, and that was my start.
You ever, have you taken teams from here up there?
Yeah, we were up there a few years ago. We were up there, we're gonna go back up there potentially next year. I'm waiting for them to confirm it, you know, we're looking at going up there, Thanksgiving. And we're gonna make another trip up to the UP, to play Tech and Northern, you know, single games at both sites too. So, and again, those are teams that we have, you know, had history with, and they've come down here to play us a couple games, so we wanna get up there and share, you know, us playing there in their buildings too.
Did you get a chance during the off week to maybe look around what else is going on around college hockey?
You know,
Surprises jump out at you?
not necessarily surprises, just probably more confirmation of what I kind of expected. I mean, we're gonna have some, you know, the Big Ten's gonna be interesting this year. Just, you know, Wisconsin is like, got a lot more firepower. They're gonna be a lot like Penn State, who's another team with a lot of firepower. You know, but I mean, the other teams like ourselves in Minnesota, Michigan, I mean, I think all of us are still kind of feeling our way out a little bit because, you know, younger teams, probably more similar to Minnesota than Michigan. We're a younger team, but on the other side of the coin is that, you know, we still have a fairly veteran lineup. We got a bunch of sophomores that played a lot last year. So that certainly make us a little bit more experienced. So, but I mean, nationally, I'm not surprised with Denver. Obviously, Wisconsin handling Duluth is a big statement, in my opinion. It's good for our conference. When our conference wins non-conference games, it's good for our conference. It helps us at the end of the year. So, you know, as much as we may have rivals with some schools, it's like when we're playing non-conference, we should all be rooting for each other to have success. Because when push comes to shove at the end of the year, you know, it has a big determination on how many teams make the NCAA tournament.
You work much on what have you seen in your power play off of what you saw last weekend?
Well, it was progress on Sunday, but, you know, again, just like talking about lines, there's still potential room for change. It's just a matter of how they do. They've been practicing fine. But when you get into game competition, it's a matter of executing and it's a matter of finishing. And, you know, that's still a little bit of a concern in the back of my mind. As far as, you know, we'll see. I mean, we'll find out more this weekend. And, you know, next week, I mean, every weekend's ramping up. You know, Lake State's, you know, probably a better offensive team than Air Force. Probably going to be a better team as far as gauging where we are defensively and special teams-wise. You know, they challenged Denver, you know, 2 games back-to-back, and Michigan. They were in each game. They didn't win them, but, you know, they were in every game, you know, what they could have won. So, and then next weekend we go to Minnesota, and then, you know, from then on, it's just getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Is there anything specific that you want to see from your team this weekend that shows we're moving in the right direction, we're trending forward?
I think the most important thing for right now for me is becoming a better puck possession team. Possessing the puck specifically, like we talk about being fast out of our own end, that's possessing the puck. Being fast through the neutral zone, that's possessing the puck. And primarily, it's about being more effective with our offensive zone play, our cycling, trying to control the play in the offensive zone for sustained periods of time. To me, that's the number one thing that I want us to get better at, because, you know, that's where, you know, that's probably the best defense of all, if you can possess the puck. And that's an area that I think we can continue to improve on.